So we've had our fair shares of terrible YouTube apologies. Now, it just seems that no matter how bad anyone tries to make a YouTube apology sincere, they just end up terrible. Like, no matter how badly they try to make it good and sincere and seem like they actually give a shit, it's fucking terrible, and it just seems like it's forced. Now, little did I know, little did we know on the internet, because it's already been circling around the internet for the last like 24 hours or so since this video getting uploaded. But little did we know that there'd be a celebrity apology video that would be probably just as bad as some of these YouTube apology videos. Now, if you don't know exactly what I'm talking about, recently one of the actors from That 70s Show, which was a very popular show back in the 90s, so I had to quickly do my little back check in there. Sorry, it was late 90s and then like early to mid 2000s is when that 70s Show was big. And you know, there's some big names that came out of that show. You know, the main two are Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, and then one of their showmates as well, who was one of the lead actors in that show, was Danny Masterson, I think is how you say the last name, Danny Masterson. Now, if you haven't heard recently, Danny Masterson has been accused and sentenced to 30 years to life in prison for the rape of 2 women 2 decades ago. So I'm guessing that's around about the time when That 70s Show was going on. So obviously he committed these heinous crimes during the time that the show was going on. And you know, it's taken a while for this to all come out, but at least that it's, you know, he's actually going to be doing the time that he deserves, because you know, rapists and anything like that, any type of sexual assaults, just horrendous crimes, and people like that should not be allowed to walk the streets, whether they're fucking famous or not. People like that should be behind bars. So he recently got sentenced to 30 years to life in prison. So while he was in court, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, who, like I said, were, you know, on the show, on That 70s Show along with him, and you know, co-mates, they were obviously, you know, relatively good friends in real life too. What they did is that while his case was going on and in court, they actually wrote letters to the court to try and basically help him out through, you know, through the courts and make him seem more favorable. So it was basically letters, you know, being on his side and trying to make him seem like a favorable person. You know, I think I saw someone in one of the replies to a tweet I saw of the video that I'm going to show at some point. You know, some of the quotes from the letters, you know, Ashton Kutcher called him a role model, and then Mila Kunis called him an exceptional character, which, you know, like, that's just actually fucking horrendous. You know, and one of the victims actually posted, and I'm going to put it on the thing, that's what it says, role model and exceptional. I'm going to put it on the screen now. You know, they actually posted, you know, this and going against, you know, Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher, because I don't blame them. Imagine being a victim of sexual assault, and then, you know, two people who, you know, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, I'm pretty sure that they've come out multiple times, you know, advocating for, you know, being on the side of victims and all that stuff. They do a lot of charity work, and, you know, the fact that they're then on this, it doesn't matter whether it's your friend or not, but they're on a rapist's side for this matter. It's just fucking horrible. And obviously, you know, right after Danny gets a, you know, sentenced to these and actually, you know, put to judgment, and he's finally, you know, accused of these crimes. It's not just, you know, oh, it's a little bit of accusations. No, he's finally been sentenced. It's finally, you know, written in paper. He did these crimes, and now he's being sentenced. Of course, it's going to come back on Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher as a bad thing, because it fucking is. It really is. So what do? They come out with a classic, and I'm going to call this a classic YouTube apology video, because that's what it goddamn feels like. So I'm going to show you the video now, and then we're going to talk about it a little bit more. So here's, just prepare yourselves. You know, it's pretty fucking bad. It's pretty bad, and I'll tell you a bit more why if you don't think it is in a bit.
Caused by the character letters that we wrote on behalf of Danny Masterson.
We support victims. We have done this historically through our work and will continue to do so in the future.
A couple months ago, Danny's family reached out to us, and they asked us to write character letters to represent the person that we knew for 25 years so that the judge could take that into full consideration relative to the sentencing.
The letters were not written to question the legitimacy of the judicial system or the validity of the jury's ruling.
They were intended for the judge to read and not to undermine the testimony of the victims or re-traumatize them in any way. We would never want to do that. And we're sorry if that has taken place.
Our heart goes out to every single person who's ever been a victim of sexual assault, sexual abuse, or rape.
So there's a, you know what, that the clip may be only like just under a minute long, but to me there's like a lot to unpack in this fucking 1 minute video. And like I'm like, you know, trying not to hold in, like, you know, I think this is just how I deal with, you know, when I'm embarrassed for others and cringe. I kind of, you know, chuckle a little bit to myself. So don't think that I'm chuckling as to make it like, you know, I think that this whole scenario is funny. I find it funny in a different sense, that, you know, how bad it is, and I'm kind of cringing to myself and feel embarrassed for them, you know, making this video, because it's pretty fucking horrible. You know, first off, they say that, you know, his family reached out. Now, if his family reached out, you don't have to fucking respond back. You don't have to. I'm sorry, but if one of my friends was accused of something like that, I'd have to be like, bro, listen, man, I may have been your friend for this time, and you know what? You know, if especially if there's so much evidence stacked against you, and you're going to, and like it's actual combat, it's fact that you have done these heinous crimes, I'm sorry, man, but I can't be friends with that person. That's just how it is. You don't have to write those fucking letters. It's not like his family came up to you with a gun in your right up against your chin saying, write these fucking letters to the courts now. And then, you know, Ashton Kutcher goes on to say that, you know, it was just for the judge, and, you know, Mila Kunis kind of takes it away from there, saying that, you know, it's not meant to like take away, you know, anything from the victims, you know, and, you know, belittle them in any way and make them feel like, you know, you're not the victim because, you know, he's a great, but it doesn't matter if your intentions of that, it doesn't matter what your intentions were. It still looks bad. The fact that you're calling him a role model and an exceptional character, how is that not trying to belittle, you know, the victims and trying to take away from what really happened to them? Like, are you for real? Are you kidding me? A role model doesn't do something like that. A role model and someone who has an exceptional character doesn't go ahead and rape anyone, whether it's one person, two people, or multiple, or even go close to anything like that. That's not a role model. And, you know, the one thing that this is, it's so fucking obvious. It's so obvious. There's so many things that are so bad. This is so scripted. It's so obviously scripted. The way that they're talking, you know, they're talking very, you know, straightforward, kind of, you know, looking like they're talking off a script. They're not hesitating. They're, you know, obviously very thick on the camera. There's obviously got to be something behind there. And, you know, because you can kind of tell when someone's talking off a script, you know, they're kind of sitting there. They're very much, you know, face forward. They turn away a little bit, but, you know, very much face forward. And, you know, they're speaking like this, and they're they're going over what they're saying. Like, you can obviously tell. It's so fucking obvious. Like me, when I sit here, you can tell I'm not talking a script. The amount of fucking times that I stutter, the amount of times that I have to cut videos because I like can't remember what I'm gonna go say, or, you know, you know, just then when I fucking stutter, you can obviously tell the difference between a scripted video and something that's not fucking scripted. And it's so obvious that this is fucking scripted. Like, are you kidding me? This is not genuine at all. This also feels like, you know, they're doing it because they would have gotten so much fucking backlash. Not just from the media, but also from, you know, the internet and their fans and everything like that. And it's fucking, it's you know what, to some extent, it's fucking deserved. I'm sorry, but no matter which way you wanted to deal with this by sending those letters, no matter which, you know, direction you wanted to go, by sending those letters, it's a fucking horrible thing. You shouldn't have sent those letters. You weren't forced to. And, you know, it's obvious that, you know, their publicists and or their managers or anything like that, they're trying to do fucking damage the control right now. They're 100% trying to do damage control. And this is part of their damage control, is they would have gotten on the phone straight away with Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, both of their managers or publicists or whatever the fuck, you know, people that deal with celebrities' images. They would have gotten on the phone with them and said, you need to do a video apologizing as soon as fucking possible. We've already written you something, or write up something really quick. I reckon they would have written something for them, because, you know, celebrities don't do fucking shit, let's be honest, for themselves. So they would have written something for them, saying, record this, please post it as soon as possible, and we would get it through the internet to make you look a little bit more favorable. But you know what? No matter how favorable they wanted to look, they still look like pieces of shit. I'm sorry, but that's just the way they look at. You can like Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher. I've liked them over the years. I think that they're, you know, really cool people. I like, you know, Ashton Kutcher's what's it called, where he did like the pranks or whatever. I can't fucking remember what it was called, that show that he did on MTV. I really like Mila Kunis. They've seemed like very genuine people over the years, but you know what? After all this, I definitely view them a little bit fucking different. That's for goddamn sure. Like I said, no matter how much of a friend he really was, you didn't need to send those letters, and then you've just gone ahead and made a classic YouTube apology video. That's basically what you've done, and it's fucking horrible. It's honestly just so bad, and it makes me cringe, and just I feel embarrassed for them from watching this video. From the first time I watch it, and the second time I watch it, and even the third time I watch it, every single time that I watch it, I just cringe even more and more, because you can obviously tell the more you watch it, the worse it gets. That's when you know it's a horrible apology video, or a horrible video in general, is that the more you watch something, the worse it gets. And the more I've watched this fucking video, the worse it is. So yeah, that's it from me. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. I mean, you can't really go against it. It's a horrible situation, and you know, I feel for the victims very, very much during this, you know, course, and I'm glad that Danny actually got the sentencing that he deserves, 30 years to life. I hope that it sticks to the life part, because people like him, you know, any type of rapist or anything like that, should definitely be life in prison. And you know, I'm glad that the victims, as much as, you know, things like that will never go away from their mental health, you know, it's something that will be stuck with them. At least they got some kind of justice, so that I'm glad for. But man, this whole the Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher thing is just, you know, even added, you know, gas to the flame, I guess. But that's it from me. Let me know what you guys think. Peace out.